Did you know that there are people without faces? Exactly, without eyes, nose, eyebrows, or eyelashes. Yes, these are some very strange cases, but don't worry, today I will tell you about them. A woman without a face has shocked the world. She was born different. I introduce you to Amina. She is a woman who has caught the attention of many people because she has no face, no eyes, no nose. That is, she has to breathe through her mouth. Amina was born a year before the Second World War, and although she had a very hard stage of her life, fate decided that it was not enough, so it gave her a head without a face and many health complications. However, her parents did everything possible to help her, but the cause of her strange condition was a series of tumors that grew covering her face, causing many people to hate her for her appearance and called her Beast. Her life was filled with many difficulties, however, the understanding and love of her parents were unrivaled, always being there for her and supporting her throughout her life. The only true love was theirs, who loved her no matter what, as usual. Her parents prepared the girl's baptism. However, when she was brought before the priest, he was terrified. He was frozen with fear. He could not believe what was in front of his eyes. However, his work prevented him from doing what many did when they saw her, running away from her. Although Amina's appearance was not attractive, she managed to find the love of a man who noticed her inner qualities, her feelings. So they got married, and at the age of 30, she had 2 children, fruits of that love. She said she was saddened that she had not found love with anyone because they hated her for her physical appearance. It hurt her to think that she was going to die in the worst possible way, alone. However, years later, she met the man who would support her no matter what and proposed to marry and form a happy family together. Her case is one of the strangest ever known. She was born without a face and lived with too many difficulties, but she always found the light in the face of so much misfortune. Unfortunately, at the age of 70, she contracted a terrible disease, a disease that left her on the edge of the other world. And when she finally felt that she had passed away, she found something that she could never meet someday. Hell, according to Amina. She arrived there to be returned by God himself, who told her that it was not yet her time and he still needed her on earth. Unbelievable. Undoubtedly a most impressive case, which makes us think how lucky we are. And no, this is not the only case, as there are other similar cases, such as the case of Katie Kayuk, an Indian woman who was born without a face due to neurofibromatosis, a rare genetic disease that causes swelling or lumps on the face. Her mouth was smaller than normal, and it was a cleft located on the left side of her face. Her parents, upon seeing their little girl this way, asked the doctors to do everything possible to give their daughter a normal life. However, it was an almost impossible job, so they gave her parents no choice but to accept the shocking appearance of their little girl. Her childhood was very hard. She was always teased by other children who made her feel bad because of her striking appearance. But in spite of her physical characteristics, she was happy. Yes, you're probably wondering, how can you be happy if she suffers from such a disease? But the truth is that she has already found happiness, even from the smallest thing, life. I am like this, and I accept it with grace. I do what I can. If this is what I am meant to be, then I live with it. It's not a matter of coping. I just live as I am. These are the words of this girl, a young woman who learned to live with her situation, learning to accept herself as she is, and learn to be happy like no one else in this world, especially the bad. Shocking, isn't it? Just like the case of Rodrigo, a Portuguese boy who for the year 2019 surprised everyone with his peculiar and unprecedented appearance. It turns out that this child had been born without eyes, nose, and half of his skull. Yes, this sounds like something incredible, but it is true. The news left all the doctors in Portugal surprised with the unprecedented case, and many even thought it was a joke until they saw with their own eyes the boy and his shocking case. At first, the specialists believed that it was a sudden situation, but the truth is that supposedly the specialist who attended Rodrigo's delivery and who was the one who attended the case since the first month of pregnancy was very aware that the child had a dangerous malformation, and even so he chose to keep the pregnancy without telling anyone about what he had discovered in the ultrasound scans. It must be taken into account that in situations like these, it is more convenient to stop the pregnancy since we are talking about a pregnancy with many complications that can endanger the life of the mother. According to the information stated by the parents of little Rodrigo, They were attended during the entire pregnancy by this doctor, where up to 3 ultrasounds were performed without the specialist noticing any problems that the fetus had, or well, that was the thought at the beginning of the whole mess, since everything certainly began to get complicated as the days of investigation went by. Finally, it was proven that this doctor had let that dangerous malformation pass, without saying anything about it. Why? Well, it is a mystery that we will probably have to live with for the rest of our lives, since this specialist has made it clear that he will not say anything about it. On the other hand, the baby without a face, as he was baptized by the Portuguese press, was born with very little chance of survival. However, little Rodrigo has become a warrior, proving that the terrible prognosis are just that. Prognosis, and that's all. According to the experts, they still do not understand how this child can continue living with so many malformations in his skull. The most impressive thing of all is that little Rodrigo has come out of any danger of life, and today he's growing very strong as any other child. Well, that was all for today. Subscribe right now and turn on the little bell so you'll be informed when we'll upload another great video.